Most of these cartoons and most of these educational channels are there not to substitute your child's hands-on activities or to substitute your child's learning, but they are an addition to what your child is already learning. Education doesn't just stop at going to school, just like I shared in the previous video about the difference between education and schooling. There are different ways that you can educate your children now that we are in the 21st century. In as much as we encourage parents, encourage teachers to reduce screen time, but it gets to a point where the child needs some screen time to engage themselves in some exciting and entertaining visuals. That is why I had taken my time to point to parents the right cartoons, the right channels that have educational cartoons that children can watch, and it would enhance their education in different fields, whether it has to do with literacy, whether it has to do with mathematics, science, and all of that. There are educational channels. Instead of exposing your child to just anything, there are educational channels that you can allow your children engage themselves in or entertain themselves in, and by the time they are done, whether it's 15 minutes, whether it's 20 minutes, whether it's 30 minutes, they are going to learn so much. It's going to fine-tune their educational skills. It's going to fine-tune each of the areas of learning, whether it has to do with vocabulary, whether it has to do with their math skills or their English skills or their literacy skills. They will learn something from these channels. Hi, welcome to Child at Heart. I'm excited to have us back on this channel, Child at Heart. If you are a returning subscriber, I want to say thank you very much for sticking with us, and please like this video, please share this video. If you are seeing this video for the first time, I'd like you to subscribe. Here on Child at Heart, we talk about everything that has to do with education, childcare, mother care, consulting, everything that surrounds children, as it has to do with best practice, as it has to do with educating them, caring for them, and also educating parents, teachers, and schools that take care of children. You would get it on this platform. So please subscribe and share this video and like this video, especially for those that you know it's going to benefit. I'd like to also say that there are channels and there are cartoons. So there are channels that have cartoons in them. There are channels that show basically educational cartoons, and there are cartoons that specify in educational resources or educational knowledge or educational information that will benefit your child. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to mention a few of these cartoons or of these channels that will benefit your children, the age band, and what your child stands to gain. It will interest you to know that as little as 6 months, as little as from 0 years to 5 years, there are educational cartoons, educational visuals that your child can be engaged in, and their education or their learning will be faster than a child that is not engaging themselves in this cartoon. Some of these cartoons have been streamlined or have been carefully structured, carefully animated to continue the learning process. Where the teachers have stopped, where parents have stopped, it has continued to teach them how to manage their feelings, how to manage their behavior, how to talk, how to speak, how to be the best in their social skills, how to be better in their social skills, how to enhance their vocabulary, how to be able to relate with one another, how to understand science better. There are educational channels that have simplified science to bits that children will be able to assimilate and understand. So it's necessary for you as a parent to know the channel or the cartoon that is age appropriate for your child and find exactly what it is that your child needs. Why I'm doing this video again is for you to be able to improve if there are areas that your child is lacking in. For instance, your child might be lacking in their use of words or their sentences, or inability to form their words, or inability to identify numbers and colors. or shapes, or your child is struggling with some arithmetic, or your child is still trying to be able to relate or to improve their social skills, now you are able to know with the age band of your child the right cartoon to engage your child in, the right channel to engage your child in. So I encourage you that before you even engage your child in any cartoon or any channel, it's best that you sit and watch the cartoon. Try to understand the tone of the words that is used in the cartoon. Take note of the visuals. Try to be sure that this cartoon is age appropriate for my child. A cartoon that is age appropriate for a 6-year-old will not be age appropriate for a 2-year-old, for a toddler, a 3-year-old. A cartoon that is age appropriate for a 13-year-old will not be age appropriate for a 6-year-old. This is why you need to be able to differentiate. If peradventure you have 2 kids or 3 kids and their age brackets are far apart, then you need to be able to be sure to be able to structure. You might change your timetable. Okay, this is the time you're going to have your screen time if they're actually sharing a device, or even if they're using the television. Okay, so you are going to engage in a hands-on activity while your brother or your sister would have their screen time. And please, I'd also like to say that you can go to my Instagram handle and check on frequently asked questions. There you will see where we answered the right time for screen time. What is the appropriate time that a child should be engaged in screen time? That will guide you when engaging your children in these cartoons, in this visual. So back to what I was saying, you can now differentiate their time of engaging in these visuals or in this cartoon, so that you're sure that they are not watching the same thing, they are not seeing the same thing. That is if their age is far apart. But if they are within the age bracket that is stated for the cartoons, then you are safe. Most times these cartoons do not specifically state the age bracket of the child, so you find parents too that would allow their child that has actually passed the stage, for instance a child that is 6-year-old, that is 7-year-old, that should be learning something that is more advanced. The parents that, because they lack the knowledge, they would still be exposing the child or allowing the child to view cartoons that will not benefit the child, or cartoons that are for 2-year-olds or 3-year-olds that are beyond the child's brain development, that are beyond the child's age bracket. This is why it is necessary for you to pay attention to the age bracket and the needs of your child. At the age your child is, there are expectations, there are milestones, educational milestones that is expected of them in communication, in emotional skills, their math skills, their English skills, their science skills. There's something that is expected of them. That is what would guide you in choosing the right visuals, the right cartoons, and the right channels for them. Having said that, let's jump into what we have for today. The first educational channel I'm going to be sharing with you is called Khan Academy. Khan Academy is for 2 to 8 years. It is a perfect channel for your child to prepare for SAT exams. That channel would expose your child to a lot of resources, a lot of vocational preparations in math, in English, in vocabulary, in their use of words, in their use of sentences, in even answering most of the questions that is expected of them during this exam. I want you to check that channel out and you'll be glad that you did, for 2 to 8 years. The next channel is called Fish School. Fish School is for children within the age bracket of 3 years and above. Fish School will allow your child to enjoy different songs, educational songs, nursery rhymes, rhymes that have a lot to do with identifying colors, identifying numbers, identifying shapes, and these are math skills that your child need at this foundational stage. You would be glad to check it out, and I'm sure your child is going to enjoy it. Most of these educational channels are rich in lots of skills and lifelong skills that your child will need as they are growing up. Third channel I'm going to be sharing with you is called Star 4 ABCs. Star for ABCs is a very interactive channel for children within the ages of 2 to 6 years. It forms the foundational stage of the child. It has lots of games, educational games, lots of songs, interesting songs, exciting and educational songs that enhance their personal skills, their social skills, their emotional skills, and form that foundation of building their ability to have balance. And it also enhance their reading skills. And you know, when it comes to reading skills, you're looking at attention, understanding, and speaking. So there's a lot that the child is going to learn. There's a lot of skills that the child's going to learn while enjoying these visuals in Careful ABCs. The fourth channel I'm going to be sharing is called Crash Course Kids. Crash Course Kids. It's basically for 5th graders from the time the child gets into Key Stage 1 to Key Stage 2. The channel delves into earth science, physical science, geography, engineering, everything that has to do with science. Crash Course Kids is going to take you into that world, into that space where you have a whole lot to learn within the age bracket of the child. The last channel I'm going to be sharing with you today is called Baby Einstein. Baby Einstein is for children within the ages of 6 months, 3 years. Here they have lots of nursery rhymes, lots of picture reading, sign language. You see puppets singing, you see them getting acquainted with nature, water, seasons of the year. They're introduced to a lot of things that has to do with the world, understanding the world. They're introduced to lots of colors. In this channel, your child begins to form their vocabulary. They begin to understand the parts of their body. It's a world of first signs, a world of first contact with words, first contact with signs, first contact with their body, first contact with everything that has to do with the world. It's age appropriate for children within that 6 months and above. I'd like you to check it out, and I'm sure your child is going to enjoy it. So we are not saying that you should stop engaging your child in hands-on learning or teaching your child. We are saying that while that is going on, you can engage them in visuals. When it's time for screen time, let the screen time be for educational. Let it be a continuation of the learning process, and it's going to do a lot of enhancing. It's going to do a lot of good. It's going to progress their learning. It's going to fasten their learning. It's going to help them become better than when they're just sitting and just watching anything. I'm sure that you enjoy this. Please let me hear the other educational channels that you have discovered that we haven't mentioned in the comment section. Please like this video, share this video to those that you know is going to benefit, and I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.